Hello. Today, our topic is changing media and technology, the balance of efficiency and creativity in the age of AI. We will begin by going over the introduction, then the chosen innovation, current impact, what's next for generative AI technology, and then the conclusion followed by the references. We are living in a time where technology evolves faster than we can understand or adapt. Artificial intelligence, once only in sci-fi movies, is now part of everyday life. It's in our phones, our feeds, and our workflows. One fast-growing area is AI that creates content, designs, and even assists with creative decision-making. This raises an important question. Are we seeing another tech trend or a permanent shift in how we create and communicate? This presentation explores that question, especially from a marketing and coding perspective. The way we interact with media is being completely reshaped. AI now influences how we think, work, and communicate. This happens not just behind the scenes, but in the content itself. Automation gives more people access to powerful creative tools than ever before. Algorithms decide what we see and when we see it. These advancements also raise serious ethical concerns. Will this replace jobs? Can we trust AI-generated content? What happens to originality and ethics when machines do create work? These vital questions impact humanity and the future of our society, which is why it is important to address them. In our presentation, there will be a focus on a specific type of AI that has already significantly impacted our industry, generative artificial intelligence. This is AI that doesn't just analyze data, but creates new content from scratch. It is changing how marketing works by speeding up content creation and personalization, and has even been integrated into creative tools such as Photoshop, Grammarly, and GitHub. But these implementations come with real concerns about quality, trust, and the future of creative industries. The goal of our group is to look at both sides, how generative AI is helping marketers and coders, and how it could hurt the industry if left unchecked. We will also explore what needs to happen to make sure it will be used responsibly.
In this part, I will be presenting on a transformative technology that is reshaping the creative industry, and that will be generative artificial intelligence, or we always know as generative AI, and is growing influence in the field of interactive media design. As we know, generative AI refers to a class of deep learning technologies capable of creating new original contents like text, image, audio, and more. Two of the most popular technologies powering this field are large language models, or we know as LLMs, like ChatGPT and Jasper, and generative adversarial networks, or we know as GANs. For LLMs, accept and produce human language text, LLMs are trained on a massive set and use probability to generate content that is natural, coherent, and often remarkably innovative. As for GANs, use two network paradigms to generate realistic synthetic data and highly detailed image. The fundamental design principle of generative AI is mimic human creative and communication, partic- partially speaking, that involves leveraging LMS to produce product description and copy, blog posts, and even email marketing campaign. Others such as DALL-E and Midjourney can produce image from a simple text prompt, perfect for visual branding and content generation. What makes these two so powerful is their speed, versatility, and professional grade output. They produce content in a second that would traditional take hours or even days, making them an indispensable tool in any creative professional. Generative AI is a groundbreaking technology for the interactive media design file. It is revolutionizing how we prototype design and tailor digital experience. Firstly, it accelerates the design process. Designers can use AI tool to quickly create mockups, wireframe, and layout, drastically reducing the time consumed on iteration and polishing. Second, divergent thinking is enabled by generative AI. It allows designers to brainstorm and test numerous various design possibilities and styles that may not be achievable through other means. And the third, it makes possible customized content that reacts in real time to user taste and behavior. This responsiveness creates richer, more compelling experience and elevates user engagement. Finally, generative AI facilitates co-design. Is a generative partner offering ideas, alternatives, and additionally that enrich human creativity without replacing it. It respects human agency and emotional richness. So dialogue between designer and machine can be useful and inspiring.
Following through with the current impact of AI regarding drawbacks, a key challenge faced is job displacement and reskilling. AI is rapidly shifting workplace roles, especially in fields like procurement, away from routine tasks towards more strategic, tech driven responsibilities. To stay ahead of the game, companies need to invest in reskilling. As Andre 2025 explains, this includes tools like AI guided prompts, partnerships with schools, in house training, and strong leadership to align AI strategies. A cultural a culture of continuous learning ensures long-term adaptability and innovation. At the same time, Roche 2025 highlights growing concerns about job displacement, noting that AI often outperforms humans in analytical tasks like report writing. This raises questions about the future value of critical thinking and communication. To stay relevant, workers must develop human-centered skills like emotional intelligence and ethical reasoning. Roche also suggests labeling AI generated content to preserve authenticity and promote transparency, offering a foundation for new workplace standards. As we can see, VRAI stands for Virtual Reality and Artificial Intelligence, which is a deep learning model, and it's powerful. And it's what the industry calls a black box system. That means it makes decisions but doesn't clearly explain how it got there, which is a big problem for accountability and plagiarism. This is why ethical design isn't optional. It has to be built in from scratch using principles like fairness, accountability, creativeness, and transparency. If users don't understand how AI decisions are made, or worse, if those decisions feel unfair, you lose the trust of consumers, your authenticity, you can be out of jobs, and you have ruined your reputation. AI in UX/UI design introduces serious privacy and security concerns. Because these systems rely on sensitive user data, designers must now think beyond usability and prioritize ethical data practices. Andre 2025 points out that current security measures often fall short, while Roche 2025 highlights how AI can collect and use data without proper consent, harming user trust. This means UX/UI professionals need to design with transparency, clear permissions, and fairness in mind, and work with experts across fields to ensure responsible AI integration. Recent studies show that AI tools are outperforming humans in many basic professional tasks, such as writing, creating, designing, and analysis, have in 2024. However, over-reliance on AI can lead users to overlook mistakes made by these systems, increasing the risk of de-skilling in jobs that require critical skills like communication and judgment. This dependence may also flatten skill differences amongst workers, potentially reducing motivation to develop expertise. Ultimately, excessive reliance on AI threatens to diminish critical thinking, personal accountability, uniqueness, creativity, and decision making. The growing AI skills gap is widening digital inequality, especially in unserved areas. Wu and Lin, 2024, explained that infrastructure alone isn't enough. Without digital and AI literacy, people get left behind. This AI divide makes existing social and economic gaps worse. In the UX field, this means we must design tools that are inclusive and accessible. Luttrell and Davis 2025 stress that bridging this gap requires not just access, but also user-centered training and transparent design. Ethical AI must be built for everybody, not just the tech-savvy industry. AI-generated content is very helpful, and it is also fast and efficient, as well as lacks the creativity and uniqueness that human designers bring, especially in emotional or user-centered experiences. Roach 2025 warns that AI can come across as having a manufactured personality, which may feel generic or insincere in UX contexts. Over-reliance also reduces quality control, as users may stop reviewing AI output. In UX design is clearly essential to keep humans in the loop and clearly label AI-generated content to ensure originality and ethical transparency.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to the fourth part of our presentation. Right now we'll be talking about the future of generative AI in technology. This will be the part where we discuss about the prediction of how AI will be directed in the future in both businesses and also the morality of how it can help to grow, but also is a double-edged sword for the technology fields. So first, we'll talk about the changes in the evolution of AI. AI models will move beyond simply generating content to problem solving itself. We're talking about AI that can actually create new ideas and solve complex problems on its own without direct human command, which we've been seeing it doing a little bit with ChatGPT and Gemini. So we'll see the rise of true development. Imagine sketching an interface, and then you'll have AI as a tool to help you do it by yourself. So with AI, you can actually have such a powerful tool that can help you do a one-man stand-alone kind of deal without having any other help from outside. And in IT operations, we'll see the deployment of self-healing networks. What I mean by this is that the system are managed by AI bots, can detect its own bug, debug the system, and then renew it, report the bug back if possible, and create a new solution even for the future. For the first one, and AI without extra training data. And as you can see, the human baseline is a stepping stone. They only stay in place. But with AI, they can self-learn, self-heal, and self-diagnose for so many ways and forms. And also, with the second graph, you can see the simple question versus complex question. AI always have the upper hand of learning things and also create its own algorithm into learning it. So AI can be very sufficient in self-learning and self-diagnosing. All right, we'll come to the changes in business in the future. So the tech professional will definitely change. And for decades, our values have been in the ability to build, to write the code. But in the near future, this might be a total change because of AI. Right now, it can actually write code by itself and it can uh, diagnose where the bug is. You can debug and also find good, reliable sources for it. So this will also change how tech services are sold currently. So now the model for selling hours for development work will become obsolete. Instead, IT consulting firms and software will switch to licensing their property with highly trained AI development platforms. The business model becomes software as a service, where the service is creation itself. So, what is the long-term benefits and also the disadvantages? So, first of all, the benefits of this transformation is really profound. By dramatically lowering the barrier to creation, AI will make technology better. Entrepreneurs, designers, and scientists with no coding background will be able to code in the future with the help of AI. And furthermore, AI could achieve breakthroughs that have eluded us for years. It might design new, efficient algorithms for data processing or create entirely new, more secure network standards from the ground up, expanding not just our tools, but our knowledge. With great power come great responsibilities. This power of AI will continue to grow and grow, but we need to also make sure to keep it in check. First of all, rely on AI will make sure that human can never fully understand what they have created. It's kind of like a Pandora box where you try to open it, but you do not understand. And once you open it, a curse happens. Secondly, the legal and ethical matter on intellectual property. It is AI, it is learning based on what you've input. So how can you know if your code is not being copyrighted on standards? And if you know that your property is not being legalized. And of course, there is the impact on jobs. The automation of coding, QA testing, and system administration will undoubtedly lead to job displacement because of AI. And the entire industry will need to focus on reskilling and education to prepare for this new reality. And finally, this forced us to reevaluate the very craft of software development. We have to know what AI is doing so that we can have good guidelines based on what they're doing.
So to summarize, the main idea, generative AI is changing the way we work and think creatively. It has been a big part of marketing because it becomes a new tool to innovate, communicate, and express ideas in ways that were never possible before. Um, Second is the key point. For the benefits, it speeds up content creation, helps with brainstorming, and allows for more personalized messaging. The drawbacks would be job loss, biased content, security risk, and ethical issues. We believe that if used properly, despite the concerns, generative AI has the potential to make creative industries more innovative, adaptable, and inclusive across many fields. Third is final thoughts. Generative AI is not just a trend, it's here to stay and help. That's why it's important for students, creators, and professionals to learn generative AI, which becomes a powerful tool for growth, not something to fear. AI should enhance our human creativity and not replace it. When used responsibly, it can help us work faster and think broader, which keeps human ideas, emotions, and values at the center. This balance is what will allow creative industries to become more innovative, adaptable, and inclusive across many fields. In short, AI is not an enemy, but it's a helping tool. We should use it responsibly with intention and care, and the most powerful results happen when AI and human creativity work side by side. Looking ahead, generative AI will keep growing and changing the tech world. It can help people work faster, save money, and come up with new ideas. But if we are not careful, it could also take away jobs or spread false information. That's why we need to use AI as a tool to support us, not to replace human thinking and creativity. With the right mindset, AI and people can work together to build a better, more creative future. So, this concludes our presentation on changing media and technology, designing in the age of AI, balancing efficiency and creativity. As we are unable to include the full list of references directly here, they have been provided in a separate file for your review. This is presented by Group 5. The members are Amy Armstrong, Justin Nang, Ngok Ngu Ando, An Nguyen, and Ronnie Sod. Thank you.